How's it going, stoners? It's your favorite stoner, Larzz, back at it again with another video. This is not the part 2 from my previous video. That's going to be coming on Tuesday or Wednesday. Today, we are going to be doing a stoner tips and tricks guide, a where to hide your shit guide, whatever you want to call this. It's just an ultimate all-around guide to not getting caught. You have to realize that eventually you are going to get caught. You have to make peace with that. But I am here to make sure that that day is as far away as possible, and this guide is going to get you right through it. If I knew all this stuff when I started smoking, I would have been so much more set. Alright, so if I miss anything, leave it down in the comments, please. I'd love to see it, and if I get enough, I'll do a part 2. Like and subscribe, if any of this helps you. So yeah, we're going to get right into this. Okay, so number one thing, before I say anything, don't smoke inside, okay? I don't give a fuck what your conditions are. Don't smoke inside. It's cold outside. I don't give a fuck. Don't smoke inside. That's how you're gonna get caught, period. Okay? It's going to smell like weed, whatever you do. Don't smoke inside. Even with these tips I'm gonna tell you, if you have to smoke inside, it's still gonna smell like weed, and you're still gonna get caught. So don't do it. So if you absolutely have to smoke inside, like there's lava all around you, or you are literally trapped in your house with snow, like put a fan next to your window, or put a towel, and put a towel underneath your door, so that'll keep the smoke from going out your door, and you're gonna have a fan that's venting all of that smoke out of your window. Obviously, blow the smoke as close to the fan as possible. Don't do a joint. Don't do a joint. I don't care what you say. Don't do a joint. Joints constantly smoke, and there's no way you're gonna hide that, okay? The best chance you'll have at hiding it inside is by using a pipe or a bong, because they don't smoke 24/7, okay? So that's if you have to smoke inside, alright? Now we can start with the video. First, what you're going to want to do, you're going to probably end up buying weed before you go and smoke it, right? Obviously. So you're going to want to double, triple bag your entire stash. That means your weed that you just bought. That means your pipe, if it already has anything in it, your bong, even like your lighter, anything that comes in contact with weed, you want to make sure that it is double or triple bagged. It needs to be in an airtight something. If you can, the next best thing to double, triple bagging anything is a mason jar or Tupperware, because them shits are practically airtight, too airtight. If you really got money, you can just buy an airtight container, but like, let's face it, you're fucking broke. I was fucking broke. I just used a bunch of Ziploc bags and it was fine. I triple bagged all my shit because most of the time it was really good shit. So do that. If you can use that extra bag, do it. Trust me. Now, for me, obviously I just told you don't fucking smoke inside. So I would smoke outside. But you ask, how? Like, you're not allowed to go out during the day. It's quarantine right now. What I would do when I was a kid was I would sneak outside, and I'd like go to a park. You could go to an alleyway, you could go to a parking lot. It doesn't matter where you go. You just sneak out, you go somewhere, and then it doesn't matter. You can get high out of your mind. Doesn't matter where the smoke goes. You can just get fucking blasted, okay? It doesn't matter. So I would go sneak out somewhere, go to a park, go anywhere, and you can get high out of your mind. Now, you're gonna want to hide that when you get back, right? So you're going to want to find an odor neutralizer. Before I give you good odor neutralizers, I'm going to give you the don'ts of odor neutralizers. Don't use Axe body spray, okay? I don't care what you say, don't use it. Don't use pretty much any cologne. If your cologne has alcohol in it, not, vodka, but alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, ethanol alcohol, whatever alcohol, don't use that, because what's going to happen is the alcohol is going to bring out the weed smell. And instead of smelling like weed, you're going to smell like middle schooler idiot, who smells like Axe and weed. It's not going to be good, so don't do it, alright? Okay, so for the odor neutralizer, my favorite, classic, if you're broke, this is perfect, vinegar and water. Now, when I looked this up, one person said 2 cups of water to 1 teaspoon was the right ratio. That's fucking dog shit, don't do it, it's not going to be potent enough. But don't do 50-50. My best mixture that I still use to this day, 1/2 cup of vinegar and 3/4 cup of water. That's going to get you plenty of smoke sessions. That's plenty of odor neutralizer to get you through. It'll be perfect. what you're gonna want to do is just spray that all over, like everything that has come in contact, anything you have on you, like your backpack, like your sweatshirt, your pants, your hair maybe. Just spray it on everything, and you're gonna smell like a pickle, okay? But better to smell like a pickle than to smell like a retard who just went out and smoked weed. Right? Right. Thank you for agreeing. Next, we're going to talk about making sure you don't look like you're high. Visine. You're gonna want to put Visine in your eyes to get rid of that those puffy red eyes. There's this other shit that I don't remember the brand, that is like crazy fucking, like Visine on steroids. This shit like makes your eyes like unnaturally white. It's just white paint. I don't remember what it's called, but I bet you can look it up. But it's more money, so if you're just a broke stoner like I was, just use Visine, alright? Lastly, one thing that most people don't realize is your hands are gonna smell like weed, alright? You came in contact with your grinder, came in contact with the pipe, probably the weed itself, if you used a joint, the bong, your hands are gonna smell like weed. If you smell like your hands right now and you were smoking, they probably smell like weed. So what you're gonna wanna do, it's super simple, so simple, just bring hand sanitizer with you. Just bring hand sanitizer with you. I know what you're thinking, Larzz, you just said don't use alcohol. Well, in this case, it's going to work, alright? Just put your hand sanitizer on your hands, you know, put it all on your hands and shit, it's gonna go away. They're gonna smell like hand sanitizer and not weed, and you'll be fine. Lastly, you're gonna wanna chew gum, you're gonna want mint, you're gonna want something that is extremely smelly that you want to put in your mouth and chew, obviously, because you're gonna smell like weed. Your mouth's gonna smell like weed. Your breath's gonna smell like weed, you know? So, gum, Listerine mint, Lifesaver mint, anything like that. Let's say, worst case scenario, you've tried to do all these, but in the middle of like your smoke sesh, your parents are like, where the fuck are you? You need to come home right now. Or we need to talk to you about your grades, you know, something. And you need to be sober as soon as possible. Well, what you're gonna wanna do to hide your fucking high is you're gonna wanna take a freezing fucking cold shower. Don't use any warm water, alright? Don't care how hard your nips get. Freezing fucking cold shower. That'll wake you up really good. Or, the very minimum, cold water to the face. That will hold you if you have like a quick talk. Those two options are pretty much the best options. I've never used anything else, so that's why these are the only two options, but you can look up more options. Obviously, the internet's your best friend. Look up all this. You don't even need me, okay? Lastly, we're going to talk about hiding spots. We're going to leave the hiding spots that I didn't really use first, and then lastly is going to be my favorite hiding spots that guaranteed worked. These spots didn't get caught, so stick to the end. Hiding spots. Number one that everyone pretty much uses, I actually haven't used. Number one, deodorant stick. You take the deodorant out, you put your weed in, you put the deodorant stick back on. It's perfect. It smells like deodorant. Nobody's gonna take your deodorant out and be like, is there weed in here? No. I mean, if they're just fucking smart, you know, they might, but your average parent's not gonna do that, all right? Number two, which I personally did use actually, is in a candle. I would take a candle, hollow out the bottom of a candle, put the weed in there, put the candle back in its like cup or glass, whatever, and it was perfectly fine. It wouldn't smell like weed, it would smell like a candle, duh. Number three, you're gonna want jacket pockets, alright, these work really well. Basically, just like, you know, put whatever you need to put in a pocket and, you know, like hang it up in your closet, works perfectly, alright, it works great. I've done that before, I know friends who have done that before, it's all, you know, worked pretty well. But if your parents are smart, it's probably not gonna work, alright, just saying. Number four, under a drawer, alright? I never used this, but I know some people who did and got away with it. Take your stash, obviously triple or quadruple bag it if it's gonna be out in the open like this. Take your stash and tape it to the bottom of a drawer, and then, you know, close the drawer, and it's you can't really see it unless, you know, you're gonna look upside down underneath the drawer. You're not gonna see it. Number five, in a dirty laundry pile. I know friends who have done this as well. What you're gonna wanna do is take your stash. This works well, actually better with the mason jar. Just put the mason jar, you know, at the bottom of your laundry, in the middle of it, and nobody's gonna look for it. It's in your dirty laundry. Unless your parents do your laundry, It's not going to be found. Here's my number one best, which I can't use anymore because I don't have an alarm clock, and it didn't get caught until I got caught with something else, and they asked for my stash and I had to show them. I always hid my stash, drumroll please, in an alarm clock. I took all the screws out of the alarm clock, and it was like a 2-piece alarm clock, so I could take the top of the alarm clock off, and then I would just put the stash in there because there were hollow points in the alarm clock. I'd close the alarm clock back up, and it looked like an alarm clock. It even worked like an alarm clock. I just left it plugged in. So that was perfect. And my best right now is in a speaker. Like right now I have a lot of really big speakers, and some speakers actually have an open back, or they have screws to take the back off. Just put them in the back of the speaker. I guarantee you it's like practically hollow inside a speaker, especially a sub. If you have a sub in your room, granted you're probably rich, but if you have a sub in your room, it's so fucking perfect because there's so much room in there. Just make sure it's out of the way of like the wires or the heat sink on the board, and it'll be perfect. It'll be so perfect. You're never gonna get caught there. Alright, so that's everything I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. There's gonna be so much more content coming soon, and part 2 is coming, I promise. Just gotta hold on, alright? And if you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. You know, I want to hear anything about you guys. Literally, if you just want to tell me how your day was, you know, like, I'll be there, bro. I'll like it. I'll respond. I promise. Alright? Hope this helped, and stay dope.